Good morning. How are y'all doing? Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a great weekend and I hope that your week goes just as well. A lot of things going on out here, so you will see me multiple times today. So if you don't mind clicking on your notifications so you don't miss out, you can stay in the know on the go here on Tommy Bites Homestead. Lots and lots of news that's going on. I'm gonna try to keep them short because there's so much going on. But y'all know sometimes I get the jaw jacking and I lose myself. So I have a timer in front of me on the screen. So hopefully I can monitor that and try to stay within 10 to 15 minutes. If shorter, I will do shorter. Okay, so this first story here is absolutely, some people are going to be for it. Some people are not going to be for it. And y'all can let me know in the comments. Are you for a social media ban? Or are you not? Do you feel like this is overreaching? Do you feel like this is just setting the stage for what they want to do for every single person, including adults, not just children? And also in this video, we're going to talk about the government control of it all. And I have clips that I need to show you guys that will allegedly say that this is what they want, and they want your freedom of speech to be controlled. So tell us how you really feel, right? So again, hit that like button if I haven't said it. It does help get the video out. That is the best way to help this channel grow, get more people in the know. And for those of you who are not feeling the changes that I have done, I'm so sorry. Not sorry. So not sorry. I want to continue to bring you the news you can use. It's not out of fear. I definitely don't want to lead with fear. I am leading with, I feel like if you know what's going on, you have a chance to handle it the best you can in your household, as opposed to being surprised by something, because we're going to be surprised about a lot of things, because there are a lot of things that I have not said that I cannot say because they are monitoring our speech right now. That is just where it is. And if you say, okay, we have freedom of speech, we can say what we want and do what we want. We have been doing that for so long that people have taken that for granted, and they say anything, and some things are not appropriate to say. But what I'm telling you right here is, I'm not going to tell you anything that's inappropriate. I'm going to tell you exactly what they are doing, if I can tell you, or if I can reword it so that hopefully I don't get flagged for anything. But I too love my channel, and I don't love it more than God, but I love my channel and I like what I do. And I love keeping you guys in the know, sharing my homesteading journey and gardening and all of that. And, you know, let's just get to it, because I'm already at 3 whole minutes. And I said, y'all know I can get the jaw jacking sometimes. And I'm really an introvert. I really am. So millions of Americans have been hit with this January social media labeling law, and it's going into effect. Now, they don't have the exact date yet, but it is going into effect. And there are also some bans when it comes to schools. So I think in this article, they have like a list of the areas and stuff, states that have banned social media or phones or whatever in there. And I know that there are some schools here in North Carolina, when I would deliver, when I used to do that, they have some kind of jammer thing, kind of like they do at the prison. So if you look at school nowadays, school has become like a prison, even though the environment is set to learn. It has become like a prison. You have police at every school. I don't remember any of that growing up. And you have to walk through a metal detector. Doors are locked. Then you got to go into another door that's locked. I mean, it's like a prison. It's a whole, minus the pat down, I guess. I don't know. It's like the school is set up to lead them so they'll know what to expect when they get to prison. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so The new rule is aimed at warning users about the addictive effects of certain apps. Again, let me know how you feel about it. Though the law will affect all social media users, it's really aimed at teens using the platform. And I told y'all when they roll this stuff out, because they are passing laws, they have been passing laws all last year. This stuff is going to take effect in 2026. Okay. And everybody's going to be like, well, when they do that? Or why they do that? Because nobody's paying attention. They're keeping you so distracted with everything that's going on. You're not going to know exactly what is happening. The bill was signed into law by New York Governor Kathy Hochul in late December. She talked about it in April. She talked about it in May, that this was something that she was going to propose. And now it has been signed into law. So listen to what they say and watch what they do. Okay. People tell you who they are. And a lot of people like to laugh it off, or that'll never happen or whatever. Pay attention. Okay. It's unclear when it will go into effect. The new law will require social media platforms to display a warning label when users encounter any feature deemed predatory, including infinite scroll and autoplay. Now, I don't have a problem with, it's just too much access. That's the thing. Everybody wants access to everything. Access God. Okay, but everybody wants access to everything, including the toddlers, including the preteens, including the teens. So yes, something has to be done, but this is the guys that they're going to go under, because it's going to be very easy. Because once that law is in there, and they're putting these laws in bills that we have no idea, they're naming the bill something totally different, and we don't realize that they just passed a law that's going to affect us. They're trying to stifle our freedom of speech. They're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. And while I do agree people have a right to say what they want to say, there's a little bit of excessiveness out there. Okay. So the new law will require social media platforms to display a warning label when users encounter any feature deemed predatory, including infinite scroll and autoplay. The law also states that social media apps can't hide the label or bury it in the app terms. They like to do that. If they do that, the company could be hit with a $5,000 fine. Now, these companies are making millions of dollars. I don't know if that $5,000 is enough to make them not do it. That just may be something to sneeze at. So I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out. So though the law will affect all users indiscriminately, its purpose is to caution younger users about the adverse effects of social media. And the social media does affect a lot of adults as well. Some people are very, very addicted. First thing in the morning, it's almost like an alcoholic with a drink. I gotta have it, and we find ourselves doing that. I found myself doing that. First thing I got up, I'm picking up my phone, seeing what's going on, having an argument with my husband. Why are you picking up your phone first thing in the morning? That should not be the first thing you're doing. And he was right, but I did not want to listen. So we are adults and we struggle with it. So our children are definitely struggling with it, but they're going to use our children against us. And they're going to ban and take away a lot of stuff. So try to work on that in 2026, not letting social media be the first thing that you pick up in the morning. Like for people who follow me or follow other people, I saw a bumper sticker the other day. It says, do you follow Jesus the way you following me? Like, get off my bumper. But, I just thought that was cute and it stuck in my head. So I have to keep that in mind. I cannot put anything above God, not this channel, not the news, not the spouse, not the children, not the parent, not the siblings, not anything, not even myself come after God. All things in order. Okay. Parents and young people do understand the real risk, but y'all, they're going to fight back. It's going to be a lot of fussing and arguing in people's houses when this does take effect. The governor said the labels would be like a Surgeon General type warning, like when you buy a pack of cigarettes. Those scary looking warnings will pop up on the screen, I guess. The social media warning label says this is detrimental to your health. So I don't know how effective that's going to be, but that's what they're planning. The move comes as more research is released showing the adverse effects of social media on children and teens. A sprawling study published in 2025 by the JAMA Network found that increased social media use in teens is associated with a higher level of depressive behavior. And I can see that, but they also said the same thing about video games as well. Remember, they had a ban when video games first came out and they were so graphic and all of that. Where did that go? Because they're even more graphic than they were then when they came out with that. 31 states and the District of Columbia require schools to ban or restrict students' cell phone use. The law will require the labels for all users who access the app from New York, regardless of where the social media company is located. So here's the list right here of schools who ban cell phones. And I'm gonna give that to you. Let me make sure that's it with this story. Okay, so let's give you this list. We'll take a look at the video where I'm going to show you that there's a CIA person telling you what they do in social media to get us riled up. And then there's also a clip of another person stating that freedom of speech needs to be restricted in order to protect it. So to protect freedom of speech, we need to control it. We need to control what people are saying. And he says that out of his mouth. I promise you, I'm not just telling you this. I'm going to show you. So at least 31 states and DC have some form of cell phone during school hours ban. Phones banned from bell to bell. So from beginning to end, we got Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, District of Columbia, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Louisiana, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, my hometown, Texas, Vermont, and Virginia. Now, I don't see North Carolina in there. That's where I am. But I know for sure, I have gone into the school and the service, it might not have been banned, but they're doing some kind of jammer like they do at the prisons. That's why I say school is like a prison now. During instructional time, oh, there's North Carolina. I see it now. So during instructional time, those bans extend to these states: Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Nevada, New Mexico, North Carolina, Tennessee, Utah, Wisconsin, but they didn't specify what part, but Minnesota, West Virginia. So those are the states that have, that's 31 states plus DC that have cell phone bans from beginning to end, and then some just have it during instructional time. So yeah, that's what's going on right there. Let's go over to TikTok and let me show you these videos and we'll be done. So y'all, I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how much time I've used. I'm at 13 minutes, y'all. I'm at 13 minutes, y'all. I'm loving it. I'm getting it done today. Okay, so this first guy here, he's the one that's going to tell you that we need to protect freedom of speech. Oh, shoot. Hold on. My bad. I thought I was sharing. My bad. I'm glad I clicked over because I would have thought y'all was looking at that. I'm so busy, like, happy about I'm getting it done. And I'm missing the whole. Here we go. Let me make sure it's up. I was like, where's the screen? It's not showing. Okay.
Control the. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control the social media.
Yeah, should do that. And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time.
I'm telling you, It's all about control. Now, it's not just control though, but control is the main thing, because they want to herd us into whatever they want us to do. They're going to strip us of so many things. We're going to get whiplash. So this is also about digital ID. This is also about Neuralink. This is about their digital god that will go into effect by 2030. My belief is it's going to happen before 2030, because they keep saying they are ahead of the game. Okay. And that we are not going to need cell phones pretty soon. In the next few years, we won't even need a cell phone. The owner or CEO of Nokia said that himself. Elon Musk has said that also, that it'll be something that's installed within us, and what we need we'll be able to access. And that's why I say it's all about the access, but how you access is important. And everybody's trying to be the first one to it. America's trying to beat China. China's trying to be whoever they're trying to be. Everybody, because they know whoever gets there first is probably going to rule that one world order. And I do believe that China is ahead of us in that, with the things that they have going on. So let's check out a few more videos.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do. How? Just let them up.
So this is a CIA agent. He's discussing how the government manipulates and entices mentally unstable social media users into committing crime. So this is how you can get civil unrest. Like if you really want civil unrest, you're going to do what this man is saying that they have done before. Allegedly. Let me say that allegedly. And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. Just, you know, to be informed, but it is entertainment. And I have to say that.
You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens, right?
And how does that happen?
You put a post out there, or you have someone fake profile say something that triggers, that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like we
But yeah, people will come into my comments, and not all of y'all, because I really do appreciate all of y'all that come in, even the ones that say stuff like this. You know, it lets me see where people's minds are when they say stuff like, you know, well, I miss the old you. You just seem to be fear mongering, or you're just putting fear out there. That is an internal problem with yourself. Living in fear, no one should do that. No one should make you feel like you have to be fearful of anything. If my telling you these things are happening, not just telling you, but I try to show you as well, these things are happening, how am I the one that's spreading fear? It's already out in the world. What I'm doing is getting you informed in case you didn't see it. And so you can then take that information, process it, and act accordingly. If something I'm sharing with you is saying, okay, well, maybe you need to get ready. I'm not saying you need to run out to the store. I'm saying you need to get ready. Mentally, you need to get ready. Spiritually, you need to get ready, because whatever is about to happen is going to probably affect you and everyone else. So I am thankful for people who try to keep me aware of things, because even though if I may feel a little bit uncomfortable with that information at first, it gives me a chance to be proactive. Matter of fact, be proactive and not reactive. When C-19 happened, I was more of a reactive person. I said I never wanted to go back to that. I want to remember that. I would have thought I would have remembered that when we had Hurricane Matthew. I think it was in 2015 or somewhere like that. And I was living in Sumter, South Carolina. I should have been, from that point on, a proactive person, but I was not. I didn't think outside outside the box. Oh, this should happen now, but oh, this ain't happening again. No, everything is a cycle. It repeats itself. Things do happen. So we need to not forget about important events that take place that affected us. We were without power for a week or two. You know, we didn't have food but for maybe a week or half a week in 2015. And I had to go to the roads were closed, roads were broken in half. Had to drive around long journeys just to get to the place that was giving away water, because there was no water at the grocery stores. Everything was gone. So we have to not just think about those things every day, but learn from them so that before something happens, oh, I've been proactive. I've gone out and I've gotten whatever. Just like the other day, they didn't call for snow. They didn't call for rain. They didn't even say it was going to be cloudy. It was sunny. There were a few clouds, but it was a sunny day. It was cold. The wind was blowing extreme. Next thing I know, it's snowing. Now, it wasn't a heavy snow, but what if it had been? You know, people would have been rushing out to the store. They would have been grabbing everything off the shelf like we're about to be hit with 10 feet of snow. You don't know what that situation is going to be. And then just the day before that, I'm in here making a sweet potato pie for my grandson, which I need to put that video out, not the sweet potato pie, but what happened. And I'm right after I got through with the filling, ready for the pie shell, before I put it in the pie shell, I hear boom, no power, everything dark. Only sound I heard outside was the dogs barking out of fear and people with Generacs, their generators turned on. Thankfully, we had solar power. I had to use that because I don't have a Generac, but you just don't know when that event is going to happen. So we need to always be prepared. Even if I don't put out a prepare now video or stock up this or get whatever, those are just ideas of things that you can do. You need to stock according to you. So you prep what you eat and you eat what you prep. So you have no waste. You get some shelf stable foods, because just in case you have to leave your home, you'll have things you can either throw in a bag at that moment or already have a bag together. That is what preparedness is. And all I'm doing in giving you the news on the go is preparing you that situations can come up. Some will be man-made, like what this dude is saying, and some won't be. But most likely what the things are today, it'll be man-made. So I'm going to get off of that. Just wanted to bring y'all a bit of news that you can use. Hopefully this video was helpful and useful. If it was, definitely give it a thumbs up, because...
And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect.
You can kind of put...
Sorry about that. Let me stop it. But yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If it was, hit that like button, share it out. It helps the channel. We grow. Other people's mindset grows. More people it will make them think, if nothing else. You know, it'll plant the seed. That's all I can do, is try to plant the seed. And I want to plant good seed. I'm not out here planting negative seed. I'm not planting seeds of fear. I'm just planting seeds of us knowing that we are capable of so much, but we underestimate ourselves each and every time. And we have so much power within us if we would only tap into it. Okay. So guys, pray, plan, and prep. I'll see you in the next video. I am now at probably 25 minutes. So gotta go. Y'all take care. I love you, but God loves you more. He created only one. You be the very best you that you could be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on Tommy Bites Homestead. Smooches.